All right, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing, man? Welcome to another episode 2 of Unknown Gaming. Um, we call it Unknown Gaming because it's people who aren't as well known as the main streamers that are trying to help other streamers out and help everybody get ahead in their streaming careers. I'd like to let my co-host introduce himself. He's a very well-known gamer, a lot of accolades. Too many for me to remember, so it's better if you guys hear it from him than you hear it from me. So, Solar, if you could go ahead, please.
What's up, guys? I'm Solarith. I've been around gaming and esports for a very long time. Esports, I started traveling all over the U.S. in 2005 for Halo 2, and I did that. I still go to events, obviously not right now because of quarantine, but when there's still MLG events or COD events or anything, I go to those. Uh, Used to game and dabble quite a bit with Ninja and some of those guys before I got sick and quit gaming for a little bit. But yeah, I'm just here. Bones is a great streamer, and we want to help you guys become great streamers too. So I love to hop on this podcast anytime I'm asked.
Very, very glad to have you, man. Thanks so much for being here. A little bit about me. My name is Old Bones. Got the name from my son. Love it. I'm a 2-year-old streamer trying to make it in the world, so I understand the struggle for real. Don't have as many accolades as Solarith. You look up to him. You're awesome, dude. Really. But I do have a 21-year career in the Army, from which I retired. I have been streaming now for about 3 years. I love to play a lot of shooter games and I love RPGs and just have fun and have a good time. Like we were talking about, this is to try and help gamers, streamers further their streaming career. The things that we've learned so far that may be able to help you, as well as the stuff that you guys might be able to put in the chat, or if you want to jump in the Discord, we'll put the Discord up. Things that you've learned that we can actually use as well. So, without further ado, we'll get on to the first topic here. Street. Yeah, you can AFK and listen to it if you.
Yeah, for the guys in the chat, guys, we're just gonna be, uh, if you guys want to interact and have questions, we'll have a question section. But until then, it's just going to be a simple podcast, and we're getting it set up on iTunes and stuff like that too. So if you're driving in the car and you missed a show, you'll be sure to tune into that stuff. So yeah, sit back, relax, and hopefully we can help you either grow as a streamer, have some good stories, or just tips in
And
general.
and to caveat to what he just said, if you guys have stuff that might help us, please share it because we're trying to come up in the world like everybody pitfalls that we found. So please don't be afraid to go in there and say, hey, these are some of the things that I found. Love to hear that as well. So the first question is, Solarith, how do you title your stream for our viewers? That I mean, should it be a long title? Should it be a short title? What should it have in it that makes compels people to want to come to your stream, watch your stream because Solarith is the streamer?
It's always a very tough question, and usually back. I'll get to what I do these days, but back in the day, I actually used to struggle with this and probably sit in front of my computer for 30 minutes before I went live trying to think of a title. But honestly, streaming is much like YouTube, social media, other things like that, right? Like the title for things is the most important thing for new and small streamers to start with, and I'll explain why. Is because I know this is actually something I want to be working on Old Bones with too. Old Bones, for example, had a video of Apex games for YouTube vids earlier. And yes, sometimes to the point videos of what you're doing is good. But just for example of the video, just we can use Old Bones here. Um, Something along the lines of just going, I don't know, Apex grind, looking for crazy clips, something like that, getting clips in Apex, that kind of thing. that will draw viewers in because they hear the word clips and they think montage instantly, right? So it's just like YouTube. You got to have that one spicy word or that spicy title that's gonna say, okay, this guy's a small Apex streamer. What's gonna make me want to watch him over this other guy's? But it all also it just varies game to game too, right?
So,
Some games.
so
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, does adding uh, flamboyancy to your title something that piques my interest when I peek at it the first time? Is that something that really helps out, or can you be too flamboyant with a title where people are like, man, that's just over the top? He's not really going to be doing that crap, or
Definitely. So, for example, like I always get a lot of flack when I'm playing League of Legends from guys that just click my stream because I don't stream on my main. I think I've streamed very seldom on my main account because my main account is very high ranked. It's Diamond 1 and I've hit Grandmaster or not Masters this season, which is really high, top 1,000, right? And I don't stream on that account because number one, I rage on it, and number two, there's a bunch of stream snipers and just kind of that kind of stuff. So I'll title my stream like Smurfing, and then people will come in my game and we'll lose the game before they see the stats, and they'll tell me like, "Oh, this guy's not a Smurf. He's lying. He's making up the stream." And then I'll show them the stats, and I go in League of Legends going like 12-1 and 12 kills, 1 death, 5 assists is really good. And they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, your team cost you the game." So there's it's one of those push and pull things, right? Like if I for some reason, let's say I get invited to do like a random Halo tournament, like I'm gonna title the stream former pro, playing in this tournament, right? Now if I pick up a new shooter, right? Apex, yeah, I'm not gonna put pro player, right? Or I'm not gonna title my stream FPS pro player because you're reaching. You're trying too hard to make people want to watch you. I would probably, personally, I would name it something funny like I used to be good at shooting games. I'm like, do I still have it?
right?
Something like that.
We've talked before where you said sometimes you do want to be over the top, but and I'm trying to think of how you put it, like the super best gamer ever, just something to pique their interest to get them in there, and then once you get them in there, then figure out
yeah. So I'm gonna pull in the second question you had for me to go with what you just said, right? So the other question was like stream presence, like who should you be on your stream, and why should you be that person on your stream, right? So XQC, Dr. Disrespect, Tyler One, like the biggest funny ragers, right? Like they put on a whole act to be funny. You know what I mean? So they're gonna put world's best gamer, get in here, how the hell can you miss it type of stuff, right? And if like the thing about streaming is if you're a small streamer or a brand new streamer, be yourself in the beginning unless you already have an established
persona, the type of persona, yeah.
Like yeah, if you watch Dr. Disrespect YouTube, he has videos from 7 years ago. Before he only got known like 3 years ago, right? He has videos 7 years ago of him doing the act on YouTube with like a little camcorder on his hand.
Really?
And it's something he's been doing on YouTube for a long time, and his videos had like 60 views for years, right? But he built this up, and then when he finally made it big, he already knew how to act. So your title needs to match your personality, right? Like I always say, if you're just starting, be yourself and try out things on different streams. And I still do this to this day. I know Bones has been in there, and when I'm playing Fortnite, I'm the funny rager. Like there's clips of me that I've shown on stream still that are still on my Twitch. I'll die to something ridiculous, and I'll literally jump and fall out of my chair. And I used to stream with my bed behind me, and I remember one time I literally threw my headset off like this, just flicked it off. The bed was right behind me. I pushed the chair out of the way, and I did a backflip on the bed and like ran on the wall like in circles with my feet. And that clip has like 400 views. Right? And it's just it's funny, but at the same time, try being intellectual with your streams, kind of like Disguised Toast or Scar or Dog, which are like Hearthstone, TFT, and Battlegrounds players, right? Like card players. So when you're playing Diablo, you can even do that. Be like, hey, I am skipping this pylon because I want to make a bigger pool. And the reason I'm making a bigger pool, Chad, is because trash percentage
Right.
adds, you know what I mean? And you'll get more viewers from being intellectual. I'm just using Diablo for Bones because that's most of his viewers and one of the games he plays, right? And then there's also times I deal with depression. I know a lot of my viewers actually watch me because I'm open about it. You can also, some streams, just talk about everything in life, right? Like ask your chat how they're doing. If people say you're having a bad day, talk to them about it. I know Bones and I do this both with our stream. Like we don't care what people think about us. We're going to talk to our streams, talk about our life and how to improve their life.
Absolutely.
People can grasp onto it and want to join us in helping people, or people can say, hey, you're dumb. Stop trying to help people on the internet and leave. But you have to find what works to you. And that same way I had to bring the second question is because your title needs to match your personality for that day, right? So sometimes it's just good to put what you're doing. Today I was playing, or yesterday I was playing Fortnite, and I need to get from one division to another. So I literally solo climbing to champion at YouTube, at Discord, or exclamation point YouTube Discord. Like,
so
letting them know, hey.
So do you
I'm
have to be
chilling.
careful so you don't come off as fake though when people come in? You put the title "Greatest Gamer" and you go in there and you're an average gamer,
yeah,
but you're trying to play it off as being a great gamer. Can that turn people off? Do you if you put something in there like that? Do you when they come in? Do you explain, hey, you know what? I want to be the greatest gamer. I put that in there. Blah blah blah. Or how do you get around putting something like that in there so that you don't come off as fake or as people come in and say, well, you're trash. You're not. Your title doesn't match what you're doing. You know, whatever. How do you get around that?
So a lot of people won't actually type anything; they'll just leave, right? Like they won't call you out on a title. But so do you remember our Dragon Ball
Right.
Z talk? The very first time we had it, and I had like 50 viewers playing Diablo, and I'm literally just sitting there like, idiots! Like, what are you talking about? You're so shut up, idiot! Right? And like the chat's laughing.
Right.
That's how you have to play. Like you have to know, you have to like click that on where you're not telling the guy
Right.
F off, you're an idiot, but you're making it funny and making yourself
Right.
the joke.
Yeah, it does.
Does that make sense? So like like I know I'm not the best at a certain game, but I'm gonna put like greatest player alive, right? And if they join my channel and see one bad game and they're like, wow, that wasn't impressive, be like, you know what? You're not impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
so you can turn it on yourself in order to take the heat off of the viewer.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but you can't be like, yeah, well, that wasn't good. Why don't you get the hell out of here? You can't do that. You gotta know how to tone it, and you can't let what chat say affect you, which is probably the hardest part.
All right. So, one that I kind of struggled with in the beginning, and we're going to move on to the next question. And anytime you guys who are in here, in the stream and in the live pod chat here, if you have any questions, type them into the chat. We'll address them as we see them. Can you stream too much? I'm going to stop with that because there's two parts to this question. Do you believe that you can stream too much?
Yes and no. Every person has their own limits. Plain and simple, right? Like, as a human being, can you stream too much? I mean, obviously, if you're doing 24-hour streams or 48-hour streams every week, that's probably too much. But I mean, I do this as a full-time job. Like, I stream 10 hours in a, I'll stream 9 days in a row for 10 hours and then stream like 5 hours one day. And then, it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I think I have a longer question if you want to, or I have a longer answer to that.
Sure.
If you want to add the second part.
The second part is, how do you set limits to prevent burnout?
So, like, this is what I have pretty much is like, it's all about yourself as a streamer, okay? To begin with, and discovering what your crowd likes. If you notice that your crowd is always there when you're streaming and always there for it, or in and out, your numbers are not dipping lower, or higher, and you switch games or you take breaks, like, okay, I'm gonna leave my stream on. I'm just gonna be gone to get coffee or to the bathroom. Then yeah, if you're comfortable with streaming, my thing is if I'm gonna play a game or I'm gonna play for more than 2 hours, I'm gonna turn my stream on. I don't see the point of not turning my stream on. I never understood that. Of like, if I'm gonna play a game that I know I'm gonna sit there for at least 2+ hours, or if I'm gonna play video games all day, I'm not gonna be like, well, my schedule says I'm not supposed to stream till 6 and it's only like 3. I better just warm up for 3 hours and then turn my stream on.
But yeah, I was gonna say by the time you get to your stream, you're not really wanting to do it, or you're not that.
Yeah, or you're playing bad off stream, so you turn on your stream agitated, and then you're in a bad mood for your whole stream, and you're coming off as a rude person to your viewers and new viewers. Like, it's just not a good thing. My thing is, if you're only getting viewers on one game, but that game gets old for you after 5 or 6 hours, or however long your set stream is, 3 to 6 hours or whatever, then maybe you should only consider 5 to 7 hour streams. That's counting your intro and outro, so that'll probably be like 5 to 7 hours of streaming would probably be 3.5 to 6.5 hours of streaming, or 6 hours.
Dude, here's something. I'm going to combine these two questions here. The second question and the third question we just talked about. Can you stream too much and still maintain your stream presence?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, once again, like, it all depends on what game you're playing and what you're streaming, right?
But if you're somebody like Dr. Disrespect, who has the persona that he does, do you think that it's hard to maintain something like that, and stream it, maybe stream it too much, or maybe do it like 2 or 3 times a week versus 5 to 7 days a week, and try and maintain a persona, or that person that you want to portray in your stream?
The person I always think of who you want to be like when you're streaming is just go watch Tim the Tap Man, right?
I love watching him. He's awesome.
He is himself to the core, right? Like, he hides nothing. He has rage moments where he literally grabs the mic, does this, yells across the room, right? Like, yells into a pillow, punches his desk. He also is very open about his religion and his belief of God. Like, he
brings the dogs in at times. Yeah, you know what I mean? He does all kinds of
His daughter, yeah. I mean, his son. Sorry, Brewer. But yeah, he's the person I'm always like, if you're getting into streaming, don't make up a personality and look stupid. Literally, just do what this guy does, because he does multiple personalities all the time without even meaning to.
Yeah, I agree. I love watching Tim. Tim was one of the big reasons my son got me into watching Tim, and Tim was one of the big reasons that I really got started into streaming, because the person that I seen there on the stream was kind of a person that I wanted to be when I did my stream. Who didn't care, come out and said whatever he wanted to say, did whatever he wanted to do, and then if he got flack for it, he didn't care. It was just whatever it was.
If he gets flack, he's literally like, you know what? This is what I saw. This is what I said. And if you guys think I'm wrong, well, then I'm wrong. Or then you guys think I'm wrong, like. And that's how you should be. You shouldn't want to stream for anybody but yourself.
I agree.
Does that make sense? Like, you can't go into streaming and be like, all right, I'm going to stream. I'm going to get 500 viewers within the first 2 months. Like, I'm going to be the best of the best. Like, good luck.
I agree.
And you've heard me say this before a lot. I remember Ninja when Tyler, if you ever just say Tyler to Ninja, it's just a habit. Whenever Ninja was streaming and it was only him and I in his channels, I was the only mod. I was his first mod. And it was like that on Halo Reach for literally probably 9 months before he started averaging like 5 to 10 viewers. And then it was probably 2012 to 2014, or no, 2012 to 2013, 2011 to 2013, I'm sorry, of Halo Reach, when he started averaging maybe 20 viewers, maybe. And then he had actually a really bad eye problem. They thought he was going to go blind in one eye, and he had surgery, and his stream like went, I'm talking, he went from, when he peaked early, he started averaging 600. When he came back, he averaged like 110 people for another 2 years or so.
They say
And
that the average stream goes
you
for
start,
at least 5 years before you start what they call making it or getting a larger
yeah,
fan base.
yeah. So if you really want this, the biggest advice I could tell you is these first 2-3 questions is find your personality, find your best time to stream, and what's going to make you successful streaming, and don't stop. That's the biggest thing. Is like it's impossible to not get in on yourself about it and in your head, but do that later. Like do that number one later on in your streaming career, and number two, don't do
Yeah.
that when you're streaming. Don't look at
That
numbers.
never. And one of the good things that you taught me is when you go in there, turn off your followers, turn off your don't look at anything. Stream to the stream and the people who may be watching, and don't worry about numbers. That was a great thing that you taught me. It was huge for me to not feel the stress because you looked up there and you see 3 people watching you and you've been streaming for 10 hours and you're like, man, 3 people the whole dang time. That's it.
Yeah, and also it's a good thing too because um after stream numbers can be really off as well because you could be streaming for 10 hours, right? It's like my problem was I'd be streaming Diablo and I started averaging like 30, 40 viewers, you know, probably for 3 hours out of the day, 3 or 4 hours. And the problem with that was I'd stream for 10 hours, say, right? So the first 3 hours, I'm averaging 4. Then I'm averaging 30. And then all of us get on like you get on and people diverge to multiple streams, which I'm completely fine with, right? But my numbers go to like 10 or 15. So I know what my peaks are and I know how well the stream was, but my average still says 6,
Right.
right? So don't dig too much into that. You need to um, look into it a lot more yourself. And there's multiple websites, Solinome, which I've shown Bones, and there's
Love
stuff
that.
like that. Like
Solinome is awesome.
there's a lot of help where you could see when you peak, what you do, and stuff like that. And that's more for like probably a later episode when we like start talking more advanced streaming once you're done getting set up.
You were talking. Trying to remember what you just. It was something that you had just said. I wanted to caveat on. I can't. No, I can't.
Don't look at your numbers. Don't stream too much. Don't worry about your peaks and your lows.
Solinome. Solinome. Tell me a little bit about Solinome because that's something you introduced me to that completely changed the way that I do a lot of my streams because I can go. Well, I'm not going to go into it. What I'd like you to do is kind of explain Solinome, and I don't want to say dumb it down because that's a bad way to say it, but I don't know a better way to say it. Use verbiage easily understood so that when people are looking at Solinome, they understand what they're looking at and how it works.
All right, give me 1 second. I can actually do this really easy for you. So if you guys
because I think that has a lot to do with can you stream too much and prevent.
you see my screen now?
Yeah, I see your Discord. Yeah, there's Solinome.
Cool. So guys, if you look at this, this is what Solinome is. If you double click my screen, Bones, it can full screen for them real quick, by the way.
Perfect. Got it.
All right. So Solinome is like actually, especially, I'm going to break this down for new streamers, brand new streamers, or people that have been streaming a long time. They're thinking about quitting. Just anybody that wants to have a fresh start and take off. This is your best website. Okay. So first thing you want to do is you want to go here, and this is going to tell you what games you should stream. All right. And I'm going to show you guys. Actually, I'll show you guys this Solinome page, this part, in a little bit when we get to one of our questions. But I'll just show you guys this. So, 7 days, whatever. Let's do the last, I don't know, 180. Right. So the way this works is this will tell you your high averages, right? What games you did really well on, all of that, and this will show you every single game I played and how many I averaged during those days. But the main ones you want to look at are right here. This tells you everything because Twitch numbers and Streamlabs, the emails and everything are not good. So this is what I was talking about, right? Like this is literally 6 days ago. I had 53 average viewers or 53 peak, right? Problem is, I streamed for 11 hours. So to still average 4 when I peaked at 53 for 11 hours means I probably really averaged after the first 3 hours or 4 hours, probably 20 viewers, something like that, you know? And then there's days like this too. Like I averaged 9 with a peak of 12. Like that's really good. And that was a just chatting stream. I don't know what the hell I did there. Um, here 14 to 7. Like it's a really good perspective, and it will show you what days you did good on and the times. So let's break it down even better for you guys, really, really fast. I'll dumb it down. So this shows you the times that you did good. Okay. And the reason this is good is because this will tell you what your peak times to stream certain games are. Okay.
And if you don't mind me jumping in here, one of the ways that he explained to me when you're looking at these times that he's showing you right now, this allows you to figure out when to get your best exposure because your peak times is when you're getting the most views.
Yeah.
So,
see, and this is a no-no. We'll get into this later. How many games?
So one of the things I really wanted to point out that he was showing you was those peak times show you when to get the most exposure and the best chance to get a view.
Yeah, and this is your follower trend, right? So it'll say like what games and the days you. So it matches up exactly with this as well, right? So I was streaming Teamfight Tactics. I was at my peak followers. Started streaming WoW and other games. I lost, and then I started gaining and gaining and gaining, right? So it all just it's a really good website, and we'll get back into this website.
I wanted him to to show you that because what'd you do here?
Just double click me or
There we go.
escape.
I got it.
Click your picture. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The reason I want him to show you that is because that is a super huge tool that does two things, and it goes along with the question that we were talking about. Can you stream too much, and how do you set limits? That tool can tell you when you're peaking and when you should be streaming, and it also tells you when you're falling off or when your peak starts. So you can set up a time in there during the day for 3 to 5 hours, 3 to 4 hours, whatever it may be, so that you're getting the most advantage while you're doing your stream. This is one of the big things I wanted to pull out of this. These things, these tools, I'm so grateful that Solaris showed me these tools, allow you to maximize your not only exposure, but they allow you to figure out when the best time for you to stream during the day is.
And to add one thing to that, though, to always remember is those are your peak times to expect, but don't always just stream to those times because not everyone is going to click on your stream when it's up, right? So, for example, if I'm an average Twitch viewer, like when you have good friends or there's people you enjoy and you enjoy smaller people, like I enjoy watching smaller streams, it's fine. But there's people like, for example, XQC streaming right now, right? Like if they're hardcore XQC fans, they're going to be in his stream until he goes offline. Then they might come into yours. So that peak will probably be the same every day, but don't just stream to that peak because then you're limiting your time to have a bigger peak. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that makes sense. But I just wanted to make sure that they understood that tool gives them an idea of a good time to get on or a good time to and what game they were playing that people liked, or what you can look at that peak time and what you were doing during that day.
Let me go back to this really, really quick too, because I want to do something really fast. Okay. So you can go by game. Okay. So let's go 180. Okay, this is obviously my best game. It says average 3 viewers, but I promise much different than that. This is going to tell you what game you should be streaming. Like you could tell the complete different. My total views are much higher, literally double. My total views are double the next game. My view per hours are down, but that's because I stream double the time, right? My watch time is just triple other games. Average viewers is less, but the other games don't have as much quality, so you can't, or quantity. But look at the follower game. Like you can check what game is really taking off for you too. Like when I stream WoW, I lose followers and viewers. So you got to know what to stream and when to stream it.
This is a super amazing tool. I'm so glad that you turned me on to this because it was it. You can literally set up your whole stream kind of around this thing and figure out what games to play, what times to play them, and how to get the best exposure just from using this one tool.
Yeah. And the last tip I'll probably give before we go to the next question is, so if you're wanting to play a different game, but you know you peak on, say I'm wanting to play Fortnite, but I know I peak on Diablo, right? But I know my peak time is 3 p.m. I'm gonna get on at 10 a.m. stream, or I'll probably get on at noon, stream Fortnite till about 1:30 or 2, and then start streaming Diablo. That way my peak viewers see that I'm on Diablo already and I'm not playing Fortnite or another game. So you could still play other games, but just play to your peak time. Just start your stream earlier and
There is some
work around it.
strategy to setting up how you're gonna get into your peak and out of your peak.
A lot of people think, a lot of people, the next question, we'll hop into this too. So the next question is there a limit to what you can stream? Or wait, what can be done in a stream? For example, game hopping, changing the topic, changing the game, that kind of stuff. And that's what I was about to get to is um, you don't want to be like, you'd be silly to change games when you have 30 viewers, right? Does that make sense? So I was on yesterday. So that day I had 53, the 53 spike. I was doing a tournament with my friend Drew on Fortnite, and I had 53 peak. I told Drew, hey, he hadn't played Fortnite in almost 2 years. And I told him, hey, just get on this tournament. Like, I'll get on Warzone in a game you like afterwards. He's like, all right, cool. So we did the tournament for 2 hours. I averaged a ton of viewers, peaked at 53, right, for the tournament time. And as soon as the tournament ended, or an hour afterwards, we played a couple more games, and I still had like 35 viewers. And Drew goes, hey, I'm gonna get on Warzone. But Drew's a streamer as well. He understands. He said, you stay here and play to your viewers and play some viewer games. And I mean, number one, it's very rare you get friends that were willing to do that, right? Like he came into my stream and did a duos tournament with me, and then said, "Hey, I know you said you'll play with me on my game, but bro, like keep doing the stream. Like
You
you're
got the
killing it."
numbers. Stay here. Yeah, I get that absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, but that's just something you have to deal with as a streamer. If they're your real friends, they'll be happy
Yeah,
that you're
you're being
you know
successful and having a good
you're
stream.
doing
Yeah.
you're doing well. They might be mad, but I promise you they'll
Yeah.
get over it. So game hopping is usually a big no-no, and I'm really really bad at this. Like you saw on that video or that picture, I had like 4 games in a day in a 7-hour stream, or 5 games. Um, to be fair, a lot of that on my streams is when I'm eating. I'll eat on stream and I'll go to just chatting and watch YouTube. So that's kind of misguided on mine. But unless you have like a set schedule or a challenge, like I know there are some people that do challenges, and I've done this before, where it's the trifecta, getting a win in Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone today. That kind of thing. Like then it's okay because it's part of your stream and your set schedule, and viewers want to see stuff like that. Like if you're good enough to get a win in like everything, do it. But after it's done, stay on one game the rest of the day. Don't be like, oh, I, I'm I'm landing and dying instantly in Apex. F this game. I'm going to play this.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I'm struggling in Diablo. Nobody's on in Diablo to play. I've only been on the game for 30 minutes. Hey guys, I'm gonna play League. Oh wow, 3 people died in my first like time on League. I'm gonna change. Don't do that. Don't do that. The biggest thing as a streamer is realize that, like, it's hard for me to say this. It is just a game. Okay? You might be pissed off inside, but do not show it to your stream. Even if you're a funny rager, don't ever really rage because they'll know
Absolutely,
the
they will.
they will know the difference. Okay? So there's that. The other thing you could have is like if you have a schedule where you say, "Hey guys, tomorrow I'll be doing 10 hours of streaming. I'm going to play Apex," right? So you stream 3 hours of Apex. Hey chat, I got to use the bathroom and I'm hungry. You come back, be like, "Guys, what do you think we should play?" Ask your chat if you have viewers. If you don't have viewers, change the game. Maybe you'll get viewers on Overwatch. Maybe you'll get viewers on Diablo. But the biggest key for game hopping is always, I literally do this all the time. I don't just ask the chat. I beg them because I am I think games are so stale right now. I don't know what to
And,
play.
and
I ask this every day. I'm like, please, guys, tell me what you want me to play. Like, I will play anything. Just please
Give me
tell
give me
what
give
to
me
play.
something that you would enjoy watching that we can get together and do. And I absolutely agree with that, because you made two good points. Games are stale. Games are really tough to play right now because they're like with Wilson and the bad release, Diablo and the
No,
same
they're
things.
either bad releases.
Diablo is the same
releases
season
make
over.
it stale,
Yeah,
aimbots.
aimbots and shooters. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now that's causing us not to want to play, that it's almost a struggle to come and play and do it. I know me and you, we come on and do it because of the love of the stream and the people that come and watch us. But I know you have to admit, as well as I will, sometimes you walk up to it and go, I really want to play Apex today, but I know damn well that 40 aimbotters are going to be in 25 of my games, and it's going to piss me off. I need to come in with that mindset already and go, look, I know that the aimbotter is going to be there. It's going to piss me off, but I can't let the stream know. I cannot let them know. I just try my best to enjoy the game and do what I can with it. And then if it gets to the point where you're frustrated, that's when you game hop and jump to something else, and so that you can mellow out or do whatever you have to do to.
Well, don't. But yeah, 100%. But don't. You have to talk to the stream
Right.
while you do it. Okay, so you're getting you die 6 or 7 out of 10 games to aimbotters, right? Or even 5. It's gonna frustrate me. I'm gonna look at the chat and be like, guys, I'm sorry. You guys are seeing the same thing that I am. Like, it's impossible. You know, we're good players. It's impossible for us to win. We're gonna hop on this game. Maybe they'll die down later, and we'll hop back on it. But hey, we're gonna play this. Or what other game would you guys like me to play? Because Apex is impossible to play right now.
Right.
Like I said, always make it a point to. I know you're streaming for yourself and you're wanting to do this, but once you average even 3 viewers, you're streaming for those.
And
3
you
guys.
have to include them the best that you possibly can.
Ask them to play. Mention viewer games. That's another thing. When we were talking about titles, if you want to make it big, sacrifice a game that you love. Oh, this is the next question. We'll get to it, but I'll touch on this in the next question. But sacrifice what you love. For me, I don't like story modes and boring like ARPGs a lot of times. I tried Diablo January 1st. I averaged 30 viewers within a week. And it's because Bones and these guys taught me how to play and power leveled me. And I started streaming all day saying viewer games, and people they just want somebody to play with. They just want to be a part of something bigger than them sitting in front of their computer typing.
And I've got a lot of views just by saying, hey, look, I'm streaming this. Do you want to come and join and be a part of the stream? And you'll get people that will come to your stream. You'll get people that'll throw you follows. You'll get people that they'll camp your games just to be a part of that. And then they're telling their buddies, and the next thing you know, their buddies are looking at the stream because, hey, Joe Bob is in the stream with the streamer, and it's infectious. It keeps growing and growing, and I've done 100 people in a night just by doing that, playing Diablo.
Yeah, you just got to know how to do it, and you don't have to be like, "Yo, I'm a streamer, by the way. Here's my Twitch." Just be like, "Hey guys, some of my Twitch viewers want to get in, but they're not going to be ready for 30 minutes to an hour. Just a heads up." And that doesn't even have to be true, but that's the nice way to mention it.
As long as you get it out there, that's it.
Yeah,
it piques the interest.
Yeah,
it piques the interest, and you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely, there is no such thing as bad exposure.
Unless you're getting charged with a very bad crime, there's no such thing as bad exposure.
And so we got about 15 minutes left, and I really, really, really want to hit this last question. This last question has been. It's the one that almost put me out of streaming, that almost made me quit streaming. The day that I came to you and said, "Look, I'm done streaming. I'm not going to do it anymore." And you said, "Nope, this is what we're going to do. We're going to figure it out. We're going to keep going."
Well, I believe I said you're an idiot. What's wrong?
Yeah, I didn't want to go into all that, but yeah, that's pretty much what you said. Yeah.
He came to me angry after looking at his numbers before he knew about Sully Gnome. He was going by those stupid emails that don't track right, by the way, and said, "Guys, I'm Solar. I'm done streaming. Can you mute your stream? I need to talk to you. All right, what's up? I'm done. This is dumb. I'm not making it." I said, "You're an idiot. What's wrong? Why?" Well, look at this email. Okay, first off, and we talked it out.
Yeah, and
By the way, guys, if any of you new guys watching this want any tips or to learn how, or you're getting down on yourself, come to me because I've averaged one viewer for years at times. Like, just trust me.
he will keep
I
you
will help
motivated.
you.
He will
I
keep you going.
promise.
But let's get into this last question, and then we got about 10 minutes to talk about this question here, and I really want to get into this question, and then we'll wrap everything up. What should you do when the game you enjoy doesn't bring the viewers?
Okay, so this is the only time I'm going to do this. I'm going to read the entire thing that I typed out because this is probably the most important question for every person beginning to stream or every person wanting to take off. Okay, and then I literally give examples. So I'm going to talk from the brain too. So this is the major question that is brought up when I ask people, what kind of streamer do you want to be? Where do you want your stream to go? And what do you want to get out of streaming? The answers that you say, that you tell me or tell yourself what you need to do about what games to play as a streamer, okay? If it's someone that tells me, "Oh, I just stream to stream, it doesn't matter if I'm the only viewer, if I even get a single viewer," then sure, play whatever you want to play. But if you're someone who wants to grow, then you have to make sacrifices and learn new games and learn to make new loves for the game and the community. Perfect example, I have it typed here, is give the Diablo example. And I already hinted at that earlier. I do not like, I played Halo, I played Call of Duty, I traveled for both, I played professionally. I've never played a campaign for either game. Never even started one. That's boring to me. I'm a competitive gamer. I got into them because I learned that you could be better than people. And that's what you should drive me as a younger person. Now that I'm getting older, I'm enjoying single player games, kind of, but they do get dead quick. So when they told me stream Diablo, I thought no. And they didn't tell me. I made a list of 5 games through Sully Gnome, and we'll get to that in a second. And one of them was like Diablo, Gwent, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, and something else.
The 5 least saturated games that you can find in Sully Gnome.
Yeah, you want to. So like I said, I already answered the question. If you don't care how many viewers you get, and you want to play what you love, and you just want to turn the button on and have that red light on, stream Fortnite all day. Like, you're probably not going to get viewers. Stream it. I stream Fortnite knowing I'm not going to get viewers, but I have a built community of about 10 or so average that come in right throughout the day, no matter what I'm playing. So that's fine. But I'm going to get to this right now, and I'm going to show you if you're willing to make it as a streamer, okay? I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Uh-oh. All right. I'm going to show you exactly
what
how
the
to
fuck
do it
is going on here? Do you see this kill cam?
I'm not sure what's going on here, but something's going on in the kill feed. All right. So this is how you always want to do it. You go to Solinum, okay? Don't ever do less. Do about last 14 or even 7 days, all right? You're going to click average viewers. You're going to click average channels. Now, this is what you want to look for, all right? This is what you want to look at, ladies and gentlemen. This green line tells you the average viewers that the game has. By average viewers, it means it will usually never have less than 187,000 people watching Call of Duty Modern Warfare within the last 2 weeks. But the problem with that is you're splitting those viewers to 7,000 channels. See how big this is? See how big this is? You never want this average channel to be even close to this line. So, you see all these games, right? League of Legends, nope, too big. Nope, too big. All right, this is games that you do want to play. And this is games that you should learn to play. So, let's go to average viewers, all right? Number 1, Hearthstone. And let me show you why. This is astonishing. Like, this is... All right, just look at this. I just did the thing to my head, but y'all can't see me. Anyways, there's 35,000 or so average viewers on Hearthstone at any time. only 245 people stream this game. Do you realize the numbers of that is? The average person gets 140, right? That's nuts. That's just nuts. The average follower game in the last 14 days is 71,000.
That's absolutely crazy. That is.
And pro tip, in 3 days or 4 days, April 1st, Hearthstone is getting an entire new look with an entire new rank system, an entire new set, a new hero, all sorts of stuff. Hearthstone is probably one of the best games to get into. Then we go down. If you're good at FIFA, FIFA is another good game. 31,000, only 600 people stream it. But then, this is an example. This is why, look at this Apex. Look at this, Bones. 25,000 viewers, right? There are 27% of people streaming Apex, but there's only 13% of people watching Apex. There are too many channels to stream to, right? There's too many channels with not enough viewers. TFT, another great game. They just came out with an expansion. 22,000 average viewers, only 500 channels to stream. That's only 6% channel stream to 22% or 11% people. Good numbers, double the numbers, right? Here we go again. Rainbow Six Siege. Look at this. 9% of the viewers on all of Twitch to, what is the channel percentage? 21% of the channels.
Those are crazy numbers.
Probably the best game to stream, all other than Hearthstone, if you're getting into it, is, if I can find it. Did I pass it? Where's Magic the Gathering? Magic the Gathering. Here we go. 6,000 average viewers, right? 7 or so thousand average viewers. Only 100 people stream this game.
Wow, so that's literally
Right.
800 or 900 people per.
Yeah.
That's
Same with Age of Empires. 6,000 viewers, 45 people stream it. Chess, if you're good at chess, 5,000 people stream it, 30 people stream it, 5,000 people watch it. StarCraft 2, 5,000 to 72. Don't do ASMR. But yeah, there's just, you got to know what to play. All right. And my best tip is get a good game with a good community. Hearthstone, Magic, Hearthstone, Magic, Diablo, something that isn't huge and has a good community. You don't want the community with the little kids and the trolls. So I can play Fortnite and League of Legends and still get 5 to 10 viewers even on those games when I peak at 50 on other games. Well, I peak at 50 on Fortnite, so those aren't good examples. Like League of Legends and another big game that
you peaked at 53 on Diablo, so Fortnite would be a good one.
No, I peaked at 53 on a Fortnite.
You did well on Diablo as well, so.
Oh yeah. Diablo, I averaged a ton. Well, I'm saying just this week in the last 6 days, I peaked at 53 on Fortnite during a tournament. But that's just because of my shooting background and people, see me playing a shooter and usually watch. But yeah, like it's all just part of the process. You got to do the research and can't expect to be big right away, and take it slowly but surely, and you'll be off to a, like I've seen Bones. Bones had been streaming. When did you start, Bones? 2017?
Yeah, I've been streaming. I'm going in my 3rd year now.
Bones have been streaming since July 7th, 2018. All right. So, and I have known Bones since January of this year. And I've seen a ton of growth just from January this year, from not just my tips, but his own knowledge, gaining knowledge, because he's actually, I pushed him to the source, and he's putting the time in. And that's what you have to be willing to do, is take everything that we're giving you right now and you put the time in yourself, and you can make it.
This is why we wanted to do these podcasts, guys. I've ran into a lot of different streamers around here, around the communities that I run in, who say, I'm never going to make it big. I don't care if I make it big. I don't. But really, in their mind, I believe that they'd love to make it bigger. They'd love to see the big numbers. If you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to listen to those who've done it before you, who've gone through all the, and I apologize for that. My nephew's making me a new logo for behind me over my flag there, and so I apologize. if you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to listen to those who are a little bit smarter on it than you, and not only that, you actually have to put in the time to seek them out and extract information from them. Hey, Solar, dude, what did you do when you got in this situation? Or how did you defeat this situation? What kind of things can I, or where can I go and research what I need to know?
Do you mind if I add a link
No, go
to
ahead.
your chat? Okay, because I'm gonna add it to your chat, and then we'll put this in the description for the YouTube video along with Sully Gnome. So
Yeah,
the YouTube video that I'm linking, it's yes, it is to my channel, okay, but it is talking about the worst. It's how you learn from failure and succeeding in life, and this just isn't from streaming. This is it is directed to streaming, but I have a lot of real life in there. Reach out to people because I promise you, the worst thing they can say is no.
and that's a true statement.
That's literally the worst they can. Like, if you reach out to me, I'm not going to say no, right? But I guarantee you, when I was playing professional professional Halo, and an amateur player is afraid to message me on DM me on Twitter or something about how do I get better, they're probably like, whoa, this is a guy that I've seen on the main stage. This is a guy that streams to 100,000 people on MLG, like, their Twitch. I can't ask him a question. I promise you, I would have talked to you then, and I'll talk to you now, and so will a lot of people. You just have to take the step to do it. The perfect example, and I've told Bones to watch this guy, is Devin Nash. Okay, check out his YouTube videos. Devin Nash, DevinNashSh. And he has videos how to go from 0 to 100 viewers, stuff like that. And in my head, after I made that video, the worst they can say is no. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna message Devin because he talks about a lot of mental health and like how to grow streaming and stuff like that. I gave him all of my background. He told me word for word, hey, I can't help you in those aspects mentally, but here's how you do it through Twitch. And he sent me to literally sent me that day, put me at the start of the line with a charity that he worked for that deals with mental illness and gaming, and got me a therapist within a week because I took a chance of asking somebody that was the former CEO and GM of CLG a question in an email. So the biggest way you grow, not just in streaming, but in Twitch and stuff like that. I mean, not just in Twitch and streaming, but in life, in your job, take the risk because the worst they're going to say is no. Like, there might be different iterations of no. Like, are you crazy? That's just the same as no. It's literally the same thing. And you never know who's going to play with you. You never know who's going to help you. You never know what's going to happen.
I can promise you, if you ask either one of us, you come to our streams, you reach out and get with us however you can. It doesn't matter. If we don't know, we can find a way, or we can get you in contact with somebody who does. And yeah, there's what he said is absolutely take it to heart, because the worst they can say is no. And if they say no, you move on to the next guy and you ask them. And that you're going to find that guy, the one that matches up with you and you guys get along, and the next thing you know, your stream is off and running and you guys are going down the road, and your success is coming and you're seeing things, and you're going to be like, damn, I remember that one video that I watched with Solarith and Old Bones, and they said the worst they can say is no, and it actually worked. I promise you, it'll work.
Yeah, and when you guys are getting thousands of viewers, don't forget about us.
Okay? Yeah, don't forget about us.
Drop a host or something.
But hey, that's all the time we got right now. Solar, I want to say thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks for having me again, man.
Go ahead and do me a favor and pitch all of your tubes and tweets and all that kind of stuff so people will know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so it's I'm typing in a stream too, just so it can be easier. It is twitter.com/Solarith, SOLARITH, twitch.tv/Solarith, facebook.com/TheRealSolarith. And then I'll have my Discord, or you can send it to Bones. But join our Discord too. Like, if there's any games that you guys like to play or anything, We literally play everything. So we always try new games, and whatever people think they'll like, they will do it. Okay. So Bones, thanks for having me.
Absolutely
again.
amazing. Thanks so much, brother. I truly appreciate it. We're going to do this again. I'm trying to make this every Saturday, and I'd love for you to be a part of it because you bring so much insight to everything that we have to talk about. Again, I'm Old Bones. You can watch videos that me and Solaris have done on Old Bones, YouTube.com. Old Bones, help me out, Solaris. Oldbones67 at youtube.com. I knew I could get it out. And my Twitter is oldbones966. And I also have one at oldbones98, which the link is in the chat there. And you guys can get into my Discord at any time as well. If you're in the stream or if we're doing a podcast and you guys are in here, you can do the exclamation point Discord and you can jump into the stream with us. And chat and discuss whatever we're talking about. Again, thank you so much. Had a great time.
Thanks, Ben.
I'm looking at what Holy was putting in there. He's trying to get into my Discord. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Right,
Peace.
guys.
Have a great time. Hopefully this helps you guys out. And we'll see you next Saturday when we do the next Unknown Gaming.